critical thinking is a skill that is necessary and it will be valuable ongoing and forever. Now, let's talk about critical thinking for a second. There was an interesting conversation. It was a debate that happened yesterday between Dom Beveridge and Mike Daimela, I believe. Mike, if I butchered your last name, I apologize. It was governed by or facilitated by Chris Arnold. It was fantastic. I definitely highly recommend going over and watching that. I'll link it up in the show notes. But Mike brought up an interesting point as it relates. The debate was about revenue management, the use of or not using the system. And there were some great arguments on both sides. And I'll let you draw your own conclusions about that. You have your own opinions about that, but that's not the topic here, not the point of this particular video. The video here, what I'm attempting to articulate is something that Mike said along the lines of critical thinking. One of his premises or arguments was that by employing a system that does the thinking for you, it makes you lazy and it sort of hinders your ability to critically think about pricing no matter what the variables are. He listed off 10 to 12 different variables. Some of them were people-oriented, they were system-oriented, they were discipline-oriented, et cetera. It doesn't matter. All that is important, but what matters here most is the critical thought, right? That system makes you lazy. That was part of the argument. It makes you lazy in the respect that you don't do the critical thinking. A price gets presented in a revenue management system and you just accept it for what it is. You don't think about the Whole Foods that is being built across the street that is going to create increased demand in the next 6 months. You don't think about the resident experience that you're putting in place to elevate the value of your particular building versus the one across the street. You don't think about all these things. You just take that price and you put it in motion. Despite the fact that revenue management allows you to put in all these sort of ancillary variables that kind of capture the things that Mike was arguing for. But his point was well taken. You can't capture everything, especially emotion and the essence of a community and the experience that you create there. So I say all that to say this. Sorry, that was a very long setup to talk about critical thinking as it relates to Gen AI, generative AI. So Gen AI, for short, is making its way into the real estate space in a real way. It's making its way into all kinds of industry across America, across the world, or around the world. And my speculation is very akin to what Mike said, in that critical thinking is going to be something that is subject to Gen AI producing answers, producing scripts, producing whatever it is you're going to rely on for the Gen AI to do for you, whether it's set up in systems or disciplines or routines or in workflows. A lot of that is going to just happen automatically. But if you don't have someone, a human, sitting on the backside of that, paying attention to what that thing is doing, you could run the risk of that thing saying things it shouldn't say, hallucinating in a way that is bad for your business, could break the law unknowingly without the human in the equation, or it can just simply create a mediocre, average experience for a consumer, for a team member, for an employee, whatever. It can create mediocre experiences. And if you're not back there critically thinking about what it is actually producing on the other side, you're going to run risk in your business. So my encouragement to you, look, Gen AI and AI in general and LLMs, all of this stuff is making its way into the space, and it's going to come fast. And it's already happening. The groundswell's happened. The wave is built. The tsunami is going to crash onto the shores of our businesses. And it's really going to disrupt business models. And I got a lot more to say about that in the coming 18 to 24 months. And if you're not ready to think critically, get that skill put together for yourself right now. I talk about upskilling and reskilling a lot. One of the things you really need to upskill and reskill in your workforce, in yourself, is the ability to think critically, swiftly. Think critically, swiftly, because data is going to come at you so quickly, and it's going to be formulated in AI or in these models, and it's going to be spit back to you as information that you use to make further decisions. And if you're not adept at critically thinking, stopping and thinking about what you're actually reading, you could make decisions that could derail your efforts. They could take value away from the community that you're trying to create value for. So upskill, reskill. The big topic is critical thinking, and we'll talk to you again soon.